Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and this is our weekly TV news video. We talk about the news, obviously. We also use this video as a sort of wrap up of the week, sort of channel stuff, any updates, that kind of thing. We also pick our favourite TV episode of the week at the end, so that's what we're doing. It is a relatively quiet week in terms of news, so it shouldn't be a super long video, but we'll get started in just a second. Just first things first, a couple of notable things that happened this week, a couple of returns. iZombie Season 3 started.
Yeah.
So that kicked off this week. Also, we had the season finale of Legends of Tomorrow. So that was kind of the bigger notable things happening TV-wise this week.
I don't know. Shield returned as well.
Oh, that's true. That's because that was a break during the season. So
it was, but because it's the start of like a separate arc, it feels like a big return.
Yeah, but I didn't think of it though because it wasn't the start of a new season. So
yeah.
But that was the new things this week. No outright new shows, although we've got a few. We've got one at least for next week, and then a couple of returns. But I'll get to those at the end. So yeah, let's dive into the news. A couple of quick things. This first one is a series of unfortunate events has been renewed for season 3 by Netflix. And if you're saying, wait a minute, where's season 2? Season 2 got renewed about a month ago. So they've renewed, and this is something we actually assumed before they even announced these, because they'd already said in various places what the plan was for season 2 and 3. They'd already spoken about it in depth. They said season 2 is going to be 10 episodes, season 3 is going to be 8 episodes, that'll finish all the books. And because they kept saying that repeatedly, I already thought it had been renewed. I thought when they greenlit it in the first place...
Yeah, they were just extremely confident.
Yeah. But nah, so they renewed season 2 about a month ago, they've renewed season 3 now, so you're getting it. So season 2 next year, season 3...
I'm assuming it's because they want to just shoot it straight through while the kids look roughly how they do.
Oh yeah, they've said that already.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they said that even before they've renewed. They said that part of the reason why it took long enough to season 2 to get greenlit is because they were fighting for that.
Ah, okay.
And Netflix weren't initially, at least seemingly, up for it. But
they've swung for it anyway.
Seems so. They haven't said outright that they're actually going to shoot them back to back, but...
It feels weird that they'd announced season 3 now, for any other reason, though.
Yeah, it does. Apologies if my cats are being noisy in the background. They're hyper for whatever reason. Next up, Falling Water get renewed for season 2 at USA Network. We covered the first episode of that, and we didn't continue with it. It had some promise, but it was a sort of busy time. It was on a Tuesday night, which for some reason Tuesday nights are just cursed to always be super busy right now.
They are. And I'll be honest, I'd forgotten this show existed. It's quite a while ago we covered this.
It was quite a while ago. I hadn't forgotten it. I knew what it was when it popped up, which is why I felt the need to put it in here.
Yeah.
Because there's some renewals and stuff that I won't even mention because we don't...
Yeah.
I think a CBS show got renewed this week and I just kind of glossed over it. I did it a few weeks ago we had like 13 CBS shows renewed. I thought, alright, this is a big load of them. I'll rhyme these off since they've done so many. But
if you're going to do them one at a time, nah.
Yeah. And then the last quick thing is the Defenders now has a premiere date. It is going to be hitting on the August 18th, which is good because August and July are currently a graveyard as far as TV content goes. Twin Peaks should still be on at that time, given how long that season is. However, everything else seems to have been done by then, more or less. So, good. We have something in August that'll be meaty. 8 episode season, August 18th. They did announce this with a small video. It's not really worth watching, in all honesty. It is the 4 Defenders on a security camera inside an elevator, just standing there, and then Jessica Jones hits the camera, and that's it. That's the whole thing. It's like 20 seconds long, and that's it.
I'm glad I didn't waste my time.
Well, I read the date, so I didn't really need to watch it. I thought I'm going to watch it just in case anything interesting happens that's worth talking about, and
there wasn't.
There wasn't. It was...
Yeah, here we are talking about it.
Well, I'm going to mention how pointless it was. I think that's kind of fair.
Yeah.
Anyway, so next up, fairly big news for Doctor Who this coming season. We have the return of John Simm, who played the Master. Honestly, this feels like a spoiler, but every single person on the planet has reported it.
Yeah, it's kind of even the BBC, who obviously, they're the ones who make Doctor Who. They put it in their own headlines.
Yeah,
so there's not much you can do at that point.
Honestly, though, I think it's stupid that they announced this.
I agree.
I think it's stupid. Save this for a surprise because we already have a replacement for the Master from previous seasons who is already confirmed to be coming back. this season. So it's really weird. You could have kept this a secret. This could have been a huge surprise during the season.
I actually think it's really weird because Johnson's spoken about this in the past, and he's not that keen on having been on the show. He gets really frustrated that it's all that people recognize him for.
Maybe.
So, like, he's spoken quite publicly about this in the past.
Has he recently run into financial troubles, perhaps?
Perhaps so. I mean, one has to wonder.
If I'm going to guess, if that was his attitude before, and now he's changing his tune.
I mean, that's how you know if Christopher Eccleston ever, gets in real trouble. He'll be back on Doctor Who.
Maybe they pitched it. Maybe they pitched it to him, right? Okay, we want you to come back, but we want you to have sex with your own character. Does that intrigue you? Because his replacement is a female, so they could have some sort of weird master on master action.
They could. You just don't know.
God, that's pretty funny. But no, it's fine. I guess they're doing Day of the Master kind of thing at one point. I'm assuming they're going to run into each other, like we had two Doctors run into each other.
Kind of seems weird otherwise, doesn't it?
It feels like if that'd be a huge missed opportunity not to have two versions of the Master playing off of each other.
Yeah. Actively teaming up.
Yeah. Or possibly hating each other. That'd be kind of a funny twist on it if they can't get along because they're so evil that the idea of them working with themselves is just as ridiculous as
That's
anything.
True.
Also, be interesting to see if he doesn't, because obviously he's from the past in terms of the timeline for the Master, but interesting if he doesn't recognise that it's him.
Yeah, he probably won't at first.
Yeah.
No reason for him to know, is there?
But yeah, that's coming up this season on Doctor Who. It feels like
I'm looking forward to it.
Feels like they're spoiling everything except the thing they normally spoil, which is who the new Doctor's going to be, which is weird.
Yeah, I'm actively not watching the trailers though, so that I can just enjoy it.
I have not watched the trailers either, so
I saw like the first 30-second one, but
I actually despise that they do the next time on Doctor Who on that show. I despise it with a passion. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. Go away. I'm turning it off as soon as it gets to that bit.
I think it's like the only show I traditionally watch the next time's on consistently.
It was actually like Battlestar Galactica, which I love that show, but they used to do this thing at the end of the opening titles. There'd be like a quick montage of scenes coming up in that episode. Very quick. It was very like, almost still frames of just like, as drum beats were playing really quickly. But it was like, if you were really paying attention, you could see things in that, and I used to kind of just look away as it, because it'd be like 5 seconds it would last, but I'd always just kind of is that a mark on my ceiling? Episode started. Good.
Yeah.
There you go. So that's Doctor Who news. Speaking of Battlestar Galactica, I did not mean that. I really did not mean that. However, an actress from Battlestar Galactica is referenced in this next news item, so that's cool. Do you remember The Machine, which is coming to Sci-Fi? Remember I was talking about this pilot?
I do vaguely remember it, yeah.
Remember the title. It's about artificial intelligence. It's set in the future when artificial intelligence is properly came about and it's a big thing. And so Battlestar Galactica's Katie Sackhoff, who plays Starbuck in that show, and Lance Henriksen from Aliens and other Cameron movies and most recently Legends of Tomorrow he popped up on.
Yeah.
He is ancient. He's an ancient man now, but it's always nice to see him. Also, Jaden Betancourt, who they list here in Variety as Deadline, as from Hotel Transylvania 2. That's his claim to fame.
Okay.
So
I don't know who this one is.
I don't know who this one is either, but I can't not mention the third person in the news item. It's just
I suppose not.
The other two are why I wanted to talk about it, but I need to mention the third one too. So yeah, they've all been cast in The Machine, but they've all been cast as voices, funnily enough. They're all playing different AIs.
Okay.
They're all playing supercomputers. Sackhoff is playing Nadia, which is a computer. Henriksen is playing Stanley, and Betancourt is playing Casimir.
All right. I mean, it's nice to know that's still moving along.
Yeah, just to remind you, the project explores the epic conflict between a man and technology through the lives and motivations of 6 interwoven characters, each of whom holds the key to humanity's victory or its destruction.
Sounds interesting still.
It does, yeah. No, I'm down. But no, I thought that was obviously just to remind you that exists, and I thought it was interesting casting because I like those two. So,
yeah.
Cool. So that's The Machine coming to Sci-Fi. We only have 2 items left, by the way.
Oh man, quick
2 episodes
week.
left. Yeah, they're both interesting. This one's meaty because of what it's attached to. The other one's just very interesting sounding. So this first thing, Freeform has ordered straight to series a new Marvel show. Keeping in mind that they've already ordered Cloak and Dagger, which has been cast, but is apparently not going to be airing until early 2018.
Yes.
So we've got another thing which is also slated to debut in 2018. It is New Warriors, which is a Marvel property, and it's going to be headlined by Squirrel Girl.
Yes, which people may remember from a few months back where she went around with the Anna Kendrick stuff.
Yeah, Anna Kendrick was talking about wanting to play.
Yeah. They'll just say that's the one that where people know that from.
It was the way you phrased that there. She was going around with the Anna Kendrick stuff, as if Squirrel Girl was going around.
You don't know that she wasn't.
But yeah, and what's notable about this is the first Marvel show that it's at least gotten this far, because there was talks of doing what's it called?
Damage Control.
Is that what it's called? Damage Control?
I think so. They're the cleanup company.
Yeah, they'd clean up after the destruction of an Avengers battle. They'd come in and clean up. But that seemed to just sort of quietly disappear. That was supposed to be going on, I think, ABC. And it just kind of vanished somewhere in the pilot season. But so this is going to be a comedy show. This is going to be a 30-minute or 22-minute without commercials. It's going to be 10 episodes, season 1. The series is about 6 young people with powers living and working together. They want to make a difference in the world, even if their powers are not quite as impressive as those of the Avengers. They will have to learn to use their abilities to help people while also struggle with growing up. Squirrel Girl is going to be the sort of the main, at least one of the 6. I don't know if it's going to be like she's the main and then the rest are supporting, or if it's just going to be 6 and she's the one that people will recognise. So we're going to announce her that she's in it just now, which tells you what sort of C-listers and D-listers we're probably going to end up with in this.
It does, doesn't it?
If Squirrel Girl's the star,
which is probably to their benefit. They're giving more freedom that way.
Oh.
But weird that this is announced before we even see Cloak and Dagger.
I don't think it's
or
weird.
See anything from it.
Yeah, the only thing I think is weird about it is that this seems to be coming out not that long after it, whereas Cloak and Dagger, it feels like that's been going for a while since we heard about
solid year,
that.
right?
Yeah, it's been a good year since it's been announced at the very least. But whatever. So Squirrel Girl, she is confident and has the powers of a squirrel, meaning she is aerobatic, can fight. Oh, hold on, let's scroll up. Can fight and talk to other squirrels. Her most important trait is that she has faith in people and teaches them to believe in themselves. So she is the Marvel equivalent to Aquaman if Aquaman could talk to squirrels and nothing else.
Yeah, it's an even lamer Aquaman.
But apparently she's pretty funny. So, and this is meant to be a comedy, so at least they play it for laughs. And at least a squirrel you can have sitting in the house with you. You know, I suppose you can have fish in a fish tank.
I was just gonna say that.
But the squirrel can maybe
Move
help you in a fight. Maybe you can jump up and claw an eye.
Go and get the eyes.
Yeah, you can do things. A squirrel could be useful out of the water. Don't get me wrong, I don't dislike Aquaman, but once he's on land, that fish power is kind of redundant.
Alternatively, how useful are squirrels in the water?
You tend to fight more on land than you do in water, just for the record.
I mean, you're not wrong. I'm just saying.
And to be fair, Aquaman can communicate with lots of different types of fish. He can get a shark on his side, and great white shark.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
When he's in the water, so he's got a lot of options when he's in there. Jellyfish can sting people. Take that, Sinestro. Sinestro. So what is this evil creature? We don't have these on my planet. Ah.
Oh boy. I mean, this sounds fine. I mean, I'm intrigued to see what it looks like more than anything. But I can't picture it.
Of course, the biggest concern about this and Cloak and Dagger is the word freeform.
Yes.
But
this one feels a little bit safer with it being a comedy.
Yeah. With it being a comedy, this one feels like it's more potential. Whereas Cloak and Dagger teen series at Freeform, I'm thinking,
another one.
Yeah, the ones we've tried from there, we have not liked very much.
And I'm still waiting to hear about my mermaid war.
The Deep.
That's it. Yeah, I need more information. What's going on with that?
Well, I've got one more news story.
Oh, go on.
It's not a deep. It's not a deep.
Such a dick.
This is interesting. There's no network shit for this outside of France. I don't think it says what the French network is. It doesn't really matters to the rest of the world what it's there. But they're taking it to
France.
That is not the thoughts and opinions of Mel Fuzz as a corporate entity. That is simply the one opinion of one ginger man. Uh, so they're shopping around now for international distribution. It's called Missions, and it's a sci-fi show. So it's a French show, and it sounds interesting. It's going for a little bit different. The first season is going to be 10 episodes, and each episode is going to be 26 minutes. So it's just a little bit longer than a sitcom, but it's not a sitcom. And they're going. There's a lot of description here. I've got like the sort of the overall kind of idea, and then I've got like a deep description of what is the setup of the first episode. So 10 episodes, 26 minutes. Series creators Henry Duberme, Julien Lacombe, and Amy Cohn. Apologies if I butchered some of the French words there, French names rather. Have constructed a lo-fi series that fits right into the modern zeitgeist of programs such as Black Mirror and Orphan Black, with believable technologies and a representation of humanity's problems that will feel familiar and relatable to viewers. So it's going for more of a realistic, not super out there. Now, once you actually read the rest of it, I'm like, well, okay, I can see how they're going to try and keep it strict to stuff that's at least been talked about, but it's not stuff that exists yet. Like, it's theoretical, but not like, just like, oh, and we have faster than light drives, it gets to the planet Zoltron that's got a bunch of aliens on it, kind of thing. But here's
that's being talked about.
Okay, but you know what I mean. Something slightly more grounded. Mainly in the sense of going to Mars, something that's a bit more foreseeable future, kind of what might happen. But this, okay, so here's the big paragraph about and this does actually technically tell you the ending of the first episode, but it's not like, obviously this was going to happen at the end of the first episode, probably.
Okay.
Right, so it's not. I felt really weird reading it when I read it the first time. I was like, wait, it's just going to tell me how the first episode ends? But
you say that, but that's no different to those 5-minute trailers we get around pilot season every year.
That's true. Here we go. The series focuses on the crew of a European collaboration spaceship, which, with the funding of an eccentric Swedish billionaire, has designs on being the first manned craft to land on Mars. Much of the dismay of all on board, however, just before the culmination of their 10-month journey to the Red Planet, they are made aware of a video sent by a NASA ship that has overtaken them and already landed on the planet thanks to a revolutionary engineering technology that cut the travel time to a fraction of what was for the Europeans. That's actually really funny.
Screw you, Europe.
That's a really funny concept, actually.
It is.
All right, with our current technology, it'll take us 10 months to get there, but in that time, they develop a new technology, and the ship that leaves after gets there first. Yeah, that's actually really funny. But yeah, so they get there first. The bad news doesn't end there, however, as the tape contains a cryptic warning from the Americans pleading with the crew not to land as something far too dangerous is happening on the surface.
What a shock.
The crew learns that the tape was sent days before, and there has been no contact with the Americans since. The first episode ends with the crew managing a less than ideal landing on the surface of the planet, and a cliffhanger promising that there is more to the show than a simple jaunt through the solar system. Look, when you're going for a realistic space show, there is no such thing as a simple jaunt through the solar system. Space travel's really goddamn hard.
It is.
So
there's problems.
But yeah, it sounds like there's something on Mars, and that's your show.
Yes.
Which sounds fun. I'm down. I'm down for this kind of thing.
Me too.
26 minutes is a weird format for this kind of show, but you know what? They had a 10-episode season. They know what they're doing. They've paced it out. Sure.
Does it say when it's coming in France at least?
No.
All right.
No is the short answer.
Fair enough. Just wondering if we had a time scale we can sort of expect it by.
No. But if they're getting deals, I could see it. I could see it being on, like, if they're going to end up on Netflix or Amazon or something like that, I could see it being by the end of the year, this year. Because it sounds like they've already shot it, or at least they're in the process of shooting it, if they've already.
It does. That's a very detailed synopsis there for, if they haven't started work.
So I think that's cool. I'm intrigued, and it's funny how much like more foreign shows are becoming. Because we were looking at what's coming up on Netflix this year, and we're like, oh, there's a German show there we want to watch. There's a Japanese show there we want to watch, and it was cool. I'm liking it. So that wraps up the news. Actually, that's us. Nice and quick.
Fine by me.
So first thing we always do after the news is pick what our favourite episode of the week was.
It's a tough week, actually. Some good stuff.
I don't think it really. I think The Expanse still kind of just wins by.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to go with Shield.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a fair pick. That's a fair pick. That Shield was really good this week. Legends had a good finale as well. It's hard to fault. I don't think we had a bad episode of TV this week, honestly. None of them were.
No, everything was solid.
I mean, even Riverdale, which is quite trashy, had a good episode for Riverdale.
Yeah, I mean, it's not up there with the other stuff,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, but it was good for its show.
Yeah, so I mean, everything had a good episodes.
No, I'm going to go with Shield.
That's fair. That's fair. I think I'm still going to edge it to Expanse, but I think it is a close fight in this case, which is nice.
Yeah, it's nice to see a network show, putting up a fight with one of these others.
Yeah, I don't need it to win. I just need it to put up the fight.
Yeah.
Competition's good. Competition's good. So, alright, Expanse for me, Shield for you. Good stuff. So, in terms of what's coming next week, we actually have quite a few things popping up here. We've got 3 things to talk about here. So, returning on Monday night, we have Better Call Saul, which is returning for Season 3. Super excited for that. Season 2 was great. Season 1 was great as well, but Season 2 surpassed it. So, I'm really hopeful, and obviously we're hinting at a lot of things, certain characters popping up from other, Breaking Bad and stuff like that. Don't want to get into details, just in case you've not watched it.
I'm pretty sure that's been confirmed, and there's
Oh,
been
it
news
has.
articles, so people have probably seen it anyway.
It has, but I'm thinking just in case you've not even watched Breaking Bad, so you've ignored all of this, so you've not watched...
Yeah.
there's no point in delving into spoilers at this point in time. Obviously, we'll have a review up on late Monday, early Tuesday kind of time if you want to check out what we think of that and get the full details. But looking forward to that. Also next Saturday, which will be after this news, the next news actually, but I always like to kind of point out the Saturday ones because it's so close that...
Yeah.
But next Saturday, Doctor Who is returning. We mentioned that earlier, of course, with the news. But so Doctor Who season 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 starting next Saturday. Yeah,
it is 10.
So look forward to that. Also, this Saturday, so tomorrow at the time of this going up, AMC's new Western show called The Sun is starting. So we don't know if we're going to continue with that necessarily. We'll see how it is. We'll review the pilot or the first episode, and we'll see how it is. But yeah, so you look forward to that this weekend. Saturday, possibly Sunday, depending on how the schedule works out. But that's coming this weekend.
April's real busy, folks.
April's busy for things returning and a couple of new shows. There's a lot of meaty things coming because it's a week after. The week after next, we have Fargo returning, and the week after that, American Gods is starting. So there's a lot of meaty shows.
Yeah,
coming
exactly.
up.
A lot of stuff we're excited about.
Yeah. So no, that's what's coming up in the next week, news show wise. Obviously, the CW shows are all still on the break, and by that I mean the DC shows, not Riverdale. Riverdale's back and it's there till the end of the season, but.
And so is iZombie, obviously.
Yeah, but all the superhero shows that are still here. Obviously, Legends finished its season. The other 3 are all on a break for another few weeks, which is nice because it gives us time to catch up and stuff we've been neglecting a little bit over the past few weeks, over the busy times. But no, so that's us. That's this week's news. Let us know what you thought of the items in the comments below. What you're looking forward to next week, all that stuff. Get us on Twitter at mild_fuzz for channel updates. Individual Twitters are on the screen for our everyday ramblings. Like and subscribe, all that jazz. Helps us out if you do that. But that's us, guys. So thank you very much for watching. Have you got any vanilla?